Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a proper ISL landing in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So first, I'm going to be putting myself in an active pause so I can go through the steps with y'all. So first, get yourself in 140 knots. It's not doing that right now because I'm in active pause. But make sure your flaps lever is all the way at 100%. I guess it wasn't for mine. And your speed brakes, don't mess with those yet. And I would say if you're in a very flat area with not a lot of elevation, I'm in Florida, so I'm gonna put myself at 2,000 feet. So I'm at the right amount of altitude for this little purple triangle to be at this line right here. This golden line right here, and right here means I'm aligned with the runway on the glide scope. Now, for a way to see that is by clicking on the ILS mode. And there you go. Now you can see where the purple triangles are. Now, for this to be able to be shown, you have to be on the runway or towards a runway that can have that feature. I guess that's how you would say it. So right now I'm about maybe 3,000 to 4,000 feet away from the runway. So let's just go ahead and get out of active pause. Now, my autopilot is going to be directing us towards the runway. Towards down to 2,000 feet. So once we get to the point where we are at the right area, we will go into a thing called approach mode. And what will this do? It will direct us towards the runway while decreasing the altitude without using autopilot. It's a pretty nifty tool, especially if you're on a commercial plane like the A320 and you're landing at a busy international airport. So afterwards, once you land, I would suggest you get yourself some charts for the airport so you can see all the taxiways and so you can safely and correctly get to your gate or ramp. Now, there's really nothing else for us to do. Make sure your speed is on 140 or 160 if you're on a larger runway. That should be it. Now we're just gonna slowly but surely make sure this little triangle is gonna align with this golden line. Now for lighting, beacon lights on, wing lights on, nav and logo lights on, taxi lights turned off, landing lights on, landing lights 2 on, and then runway turn light off. And I think that should be it for the steps. Now, since now we are aligned, we're going to go ahead and press on the approach mode. Now, some people press on the lock mode. This is called a... I actually forgot what this is called. But what this basically does is if you're on, if you're turning onto a runway and not going straight down onto the runway, you'll turn that on and it'll direct the heading onto the runway. I use it a lot for, it's just an alignment tool. I use it a lot if my autopilot is screwing me over and I can't land properly. But here we go. We're about to hit 1,000 feet. Now normally there would be a loud voice over the intercom saying like 1,500, 100, something. But I don't know why that's not on for me. It might be on for you, but that basically means you're doing the right thing. So there's the runway, and right there you can see the properlly lights. Now what those show is you're on the correct glide scope and you are about to do the most finest landing yet. Now 2 red lights means that you're 2 reds, 2 whites means that you are on the correct glide scope. Nothing to worry about. 3 reds, 1 white. You're a bit low but not too low. 4 reds, you're totally too low. You need to go make the nose go up a bit. 3 whites, 1 red means you're a bit too high, but no worries right now. And then all whites means you're way too low and you need to point the nose down a bit. Now we're getting to our landing point, so we can just get ready to disengage the autopilot in the approach mode by doing that at around 50 feet, I would suggest. And then you would pull back on the throttle. Make sure that's all nice and good, and then you would turn on reverse thrust and make your way towards a taxiway. Alright. Now we are about 300 feet from the runway, or maybe 100 feet, I don't know, but we're 200 feet above elevation. And those free reds means that it's basically time for us to disengage. Right about, I'd say now. Turn this off, point the nose up a bit, lower the throttle. Oh, bounce, a bit bouncy. Okay, now that we have stopped our plane, after using reverse thrust for our landing, we are going to guide our plane towards the taxi lane and the gate that we are designated to. Now, in this video, I'm not using VATSIM or the regular ATC. This is just a small little tutorial on how to properly do an ILS landing. Maybe in the future I'll do a VATSIM tutorial. Alright, let's get ourselves out of reverse thrust. I don't know which button it is. I forgot. Yep, it's this one. Now we're gonna increase the throttle a bit, and we are gonna guide our plane out. Now, in this time, I would suggest you get some charts out. A great website for charts is this website. This website can give you a lot of charts for any type of airport around the world. Now, how to use this website, you just go to airports and then you type in airport you're at. I'm going to do KMCO because that's the airport I'm currently at. And after we type that in, we get a lot of information. We can select this image and boom, we have charts. And what this just does is it can show what runway you have landed at. For me, I've landed at right here. This is the runway I landed at. Let's zoom in a bit. Now, and then since I need to get back to my gate, I'm gonna follow, if ETC tells me to, I'm gonna follow onto a taxi lane. For example, Hotel 7 or 6. Then you would follow all the way into Echo, and then Z 5, and there's just a bunch of gates right here. And yeah, that's basically how you use charts. It's really not that complicated. I would suggest you learn the photonic alphabet. Alright, now that we have that's done, let's go back and get off this silly runway, and we are gonna go to our designated gate. Now that we have reached our gate, also known as the parking lot, being closed up at the end of this video, hopefully it was helpful. This part is obviously a joke. Don't take it seriously. Anyways, make sure to subscribe